Hello, everybody. It's December. It's Christmas Eve. Everybody's watching Christmas movies, episodes, whatever. Everyone's in the season to watch something festive. And I want to go over some episodes of one of my favorite adult animation TV shows that goes all out with their Christmas episodes. I wanted to rank and review them and hopefully put some people on to some really good festive episodes. So the show I'm talking about is American Dad, and I'm gonna review like 6 episodes. So I'm gonna turn it to my monitor now. This is the first episode I'm talking about. It's called Rapture's Delight. It's in season 6. It's episode 9, and this is widely regarded as American Dad's best episode ever. So I'd highly recommend checking it out. It is about it's Christmas Day. The family goes to church because they're religious, and then Stan and Francine do something bad, and then the rapture begins, which the show explains. All the true Christians get sucked up into heaven, and then the rest of the people on earth they're stuck there, and they're like doomed to be in like a holy war between Jesus Christ and the Antichrist and his army of demons. And things get pretty crazy. The animation is amazing. Look at this title card here. What kind of TV show has something like that, especially an adult animation series like this? And you can see here there's Jesus, all the characters, you can see here there's Jesus, all the characters get a revamped design, updated to how many years in the future. And here's a quick plot summary. You see, that's a spoiler. Okay, but basically after this, Stan is really disrespectful to Francine, and then she leaves him for Jesus, and then she holds that over him, but she still likes him. So then it just plays out the war. Roger comes back, and it's just a great episode. And there's also the Antichrist, and they showed the Antichrist in such a funny way here. So instead of being like some like demon, like some actual scary demon, he's just some bald dude. And the way he is portrayed is literally the exact opposite of Jesus in every way. So he can like walk on land instead of water. He's bald. He like talks in reverse letters. He's just goofy. It's really funny. And yeah, and you can see at the top right there, that's the rapture of the people being sucked into the sky. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say for this episode. So now we're going to go on to number 2. It's called, here, For Whom the Sleigh Bell Tolls. It is in season 7, episode 8. That is, I think the next year. So they went crazy back to back. This one is one of the most unique setups I've seen for a Christmas episode. And again, you'll see here, this one also has like a title cover or like a poster for it, which is very rare in these shows again. So the plot is they do like a quick parody of, I forget the name of that one Christmas movie, the one where the kid almost shoots his eye out. So Stan gives Steve a gun, and then they go and practice it close to a mall. Steve shoots a snowman, and then a mall Santa is behind the snowman, so they go and bury it because they don't want to get in trouble. And then it turns out to be the real Santa. Here's them burying it. And it turns out to be the real Santa, so they get like scary letters, all of them. And then Santa turns out to be like some psycho, and he's coming to kill the whole Smith family. So they go up into like a lodge with this guy here. He makes moonshine sitting beside Roger. And he's very interesting. He's a great funny character. And then it turns into an entire bloodbath. Like here, they're just fighting for their lives over and over again. There's great character development for Jeff Fisher. It's a beautiful story. Santa is a great character in the American Dad universe. Everything about this episode is just awesome. It's one of the best episodes of the show as well. Now, we're moving on to number 3. This episode is called Minstrel Krampus. This is in season 9. Is that back to back? Okay, I skipped one. Season 9 has Minstrel Krampus. This is a very unique portrayal of Krampus. Instead of portraying him as like an actual demon, he is the good guy, because they establish that Santa is kind of evil. But in this episode, it expands on him being more evil. So instead of just giving presents to the good kids, he's giving them to naughty kids. So they'll get like more greedy, and everyone doesn't have to watch their behavior or anything. But if you want to look at the art here, it's very stylized in like this old-fashioned way. It's just very beautiful. There's multiple examples of this. This is him in in Stan's dad's mom's strudel. That's how he got captured. But yeah, it's very beautiful. It has one of the best songs in the entire show. You'll see here, Krampus and Steve actually do like a duet. And if you don't know, Krampus is voiced by... What's his name? Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name. Something Charles. Charles Bradley. Yes, Krampus is voiced by the Charles Bradley. And if you don't know who he is, you probably have heard his song Changes in the Big Mouth intro, the famous Big Mouth intro where he says, "I'm going through changes." That is this guy, and the song is beautiful. They absolutely kill the song. I just love this episode. Now, the quick plot summary is Steve gets kidnapped by him because Krampus wants to see Jack. So he pretty much kidnaps Steve for ransom after Steve was being a really bad son. So Krampus takes him. You can see here he's beating him with the birch branch. He's going crazy. And then Steve, he talks to him to understand him better. Here you'll see here, this is Santa being evil. And then they start singing, and then it turns out Santa is a good guy. And then later in the episode, Stan and Jack do come and see Krampus, and I won't spoil what happens, but it's a great episode with one of the best songs in American Dad. So we'll leave it at that. Moving on to number 4, the most adequate Christmas ever. This is in season 3. This is one of their early Christmas specials. Okay, we'll look at the images. I believe this is the one. Okay, yes. Okay, so Stan he comes back from a CIA mission, and he sees the family has set up the tree without him, and he doesn't like how it looks. So he wants to go into the forest, like on Christmas Eve, freezing, snowing, in the middle of a dark forest, and they're looking for a tree to cut down. So while he's cutting down the tree, I think he falls to his death with the car keys in his pocket. And then that leads to his entire family being stuck in the freezing car, leading to their impending doom. They're gonna die if he doesn't come back. So he goes on an adventure with this angel, trying to come back to life to save his family. So he has to make an argument with God here. This is God. And he breaks into Jesus' house because it's his birthday party, and then he finds God, and then he tries to negotiate, and God's like, he's like arguing, why do you deserve to come back, yada yada. And then after he can't really muster up a reason, he pulls the good old angel pistol on him, and then he comes back, and then they have a happy Christmas. It's just a great episode. It is definitely a fall off from the first three, but I think it's definitely still worth watching if you want to try something different. This is one of the lawyers. This is pretty much all I need to show you to get a good understanding of why you should watch this episode. But just another great one. Now, this one is very interesting. I'm sure it covers a thought we've all had. This is in season 10, it's episode 9. Now, if you have watched the show, you know that Principal Lewis is insane, out of his mind, and this is one of the episodes where they're portrayed as good friends, which sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. It changes up, but Stan is getting fed up with Francine wanting the house to be perfect. He's going up and down the stairs, grabbing stuff for her, just getting frustrated over minor little things all the time. And then he wishes him and Lewis switched lives. And then he puts the star on the tree with Roger, and then the lights flash, and then he wakes up the next day, and then he's living Principal Lewis's life. You'll see here we have Black Stephen Haley. He puts a gun to his head and forces his old family to sing. But no one knows they're his old family, so everyone thinks he's out of his mind insane. But the episode starts off with Roger and Stan driving around in the Porsche, doing bachelor stuff because it's Christmas. And then Stan gets really upset because he misses his family a lot. So even though that's something else. So he comes here, he tries to steal the family, he succeeds, he kidnaps them. And then, because they switch lives, Lewis is in the CIA, so the CIA hunts Stan down, he kills himself, and then he gets another chance and he's sent back to his real family. So you'll see here, this is another plot twist here. This is some athlete, and then this is just some basic girl, and this is his real life. These are all real characters. And then Stan hates it here. He's really upset. He wants Francine, Steve, and Haley back, but he's stuck with these no-name characters. And then an angel comes and explains to him, I don't know if there's an image up here, but an angel comes down and explains to him that the old family he had, the family we know, was given to him as a punishment for being bad or something. So Francine, Steve, and Haley aren't his real family, but these people are, and he wants his old family back. So he's out of Christmas wishes, so he be really mean to his wife, and then he tricks her to put the star on the tree and wish that they never got married. The lights flicker, and then boom, things reset back to normal, and the Smiths have a Merry Christmas like they always do. Now, second last on the list is called 90 North 0 West, Season 12, Episode 7. And now, firstly, I want to talk about this one because it's a later season. The art style has come a long way from what it's been in the past, even though it's always been really good. So here's a Reddit thread of some of the beautiful scenes that are in this episode. This one is really good. My phone's a little weird, so you guys can't really see how good it is, but it's really good. You should check this episode out. There's just a lot of beautiful shots in this episode that these shots alone make it worth seeing. But now we're going to talk about the story. So the story is there is a mine, that leads to some monster, I believe, and Santa is I think he has people mining it for him. So they're building upon the already established Santa is evil. He has an egg here. I believe that's to the monster, and he's building like a nest for it or something. Sorry, I don't fully remember. But Jack comes, and he is, I guess this is a spoiler, but Stan's dad becomes Krampus. And then basically it's just a Smith family team up to stop Santa. This is the monster, and you can see it's going crazy. It's sucking up elves and a bunch of other stuff. So he is going crazy, and the Smiths just team up and stop him. Nothing crazy. Just this beautiful scenery, the shots, and I'm sure there's funny jokes. I just can't name them off the top of my head. Now, I want to talk about Santa Schmanta. This is, it doesn't give me the episode. Here, it's, okay, there's no answer to this, I'm sorry. But basically in this episode, Roger learns about Hanukah from Snot, and then I think he finds Santa's hat, and then he picks it up, and he becomes Jewish, and then he turns into a Jewish Santa. You'll see he has the Jew curls, and he's wearing blue and white, the colors of Israel's flag. And here he is learning about it from Snot. And what stands about this episode the most is just the cool scenery, and it is cool seeing everything we know about Christmas be replaced with stuff that's normally on Hanukkah. But it's kind of a repetitive episode. We've seen stuff like this before. It's just Roger becomes someone powerful, goes on a power trip, and people start suffering because of it, so they try to get him to stop. We've seen this one, he put on Kevin Bacon's nose. We've seen this one, he became the Weeknd. And here's what Santa looks like without his hat. He pretty much becomes a zombie. So, yeah, it's just a Roger power trip episode. And here's him using his powers. So you can see the episode visually, it looks beautiful. It is a cool concept. It's a brilliant concept. But it's just, by American Dad standards, it's nothing crazy. But still is a good watch. And I believe that is the list. I'll show you where I got this from. I got it on IMDb. I think I missed one. Here, I missed this one. I do want to talk about this one. Sorry for this. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is about Stan gets in trouble with the church for beating the hell out of Roger, who got a part in an acting play for being Jesus. It's a really funny bit. He absolutely beats the shit out of him for like a minute straight. And then the church sees this, and there's like a funny cutaway gag where like the Pope is on the phone with someone. He's like, "Are you seeing this shit?" It's just a really funny bit. But then he goes crazy, and then there's just another plot point that gets brought in out of nowhere where Jeff just wanted a baby, so he goes and adopts one. This little kid right here, Jeff names him Nemo, and that leads to another funny bit later. But this Nemo turns out to be the Antichrist, and you'll see Steve here is levitating. He's lifting Stan up with like, his head. And then it just, yeah, like look at this scene. This episode is really good. There's funny gags in it. There's this one too, where this is where they realize he's the Antichrist. And then just a bunch of crazy stuff happens. It's just like a nonstop train of laughter. You'll see here, there's a blind man, and this is his guide dog, and Stan shoots it. And then they're quiet, so the guy doesn't know they're there. This episode is just really fun. It's a great episode that leads to a lot of laughs, and it's visually, there's some pretty scary scenes here, and the whole episode is just really funny. So, yeah, that's the list. I would put this one and fifth place, or fourth place actually. It's number 4. And that does my American Dad Christmas tier list. I'm sorry it wasn't on Tier List Maker. They only have Family Guy episodes for Christmas ratings. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Have a good night. See you.